incoming 7th graders and incoming 8th graders. So we'll start with 7th grade first. So we can go one more slide, Mr. G. I guess we're doing 8th grade first. So 8th grade, the first trimester, students will have graphic design. So we'll work with something called Pixlr and Wik Editor to do photo editing and animation. So Mr. Hernandez, if you want to go ahead and translate.
Ok, so para el primer trimestre tenemos diseño gráfico y vamos a trabajar con Pixlr y Wik Editor para editar y animar fotografías.
All right, then the second trimester is something called, we have electronic circuits and Arduino. We'll study the basics of electricity and how circuits work. Then they'll use their Arduino to create their own circuits and make a robotic car.
Para el segundo trimestre tenemos circuito y Arduino. Vamos a estudiar los conceptos básicos de electricidad y cómo funcionan los circuitos eléctricos. Luego vamos a usar el Arduino para crear tus propios circuitos y hacer un carro robótico.
And then the last trimester will be robotics. So we'll be using coding software to make your robots do several different things, such as move, use a distance sensor, and all the while they'll be able to see what's happening to the brain of the computer, or the robot.
Y el último trimestre tenemos robótica. Vamos a usar el programa de codificación para que su robot puede hacer varias cosas diferentes como moverse, usar sensores de distancia y más. Todo mientras puede ver lo que sucede en el cerebro de su robot.
And Mr. G, I think you have to go back one slide to get the 7th grade one.
I made a mistake. Give me 1 second. I have to go back into the presentation and find it. I went one too fast. I apologize.
That's all right.
Let's see, 7th grade. There we go. I apologize, everybody. Give me just 1 second. It's been a while since I've run a Zoom meeting, so I forgot how to do this. There we go.
All right, so for 7th grade, the first trimester is called Building and Bridges. So the students will learn about architecture, they'll build a tiny house, and they'll learn about bridges and their structure. And then they'll build and test bridges they've made from paper, straws, spaghetti, and wood.
En el primer trimestre, en séptimo grado, vamos a explorar construcción y puentes. Vamos a aprender sobre arquitectura y vamos a construir una casa pequeña y aprender sobre puentes y su estructura. Construye y prueba puentes hechos de papel, pajitas, espagueti y madera.
All right, the second trimester, we're going to do something called Circuit Playground and Tinkercad. The Circuit Playground shown there with the little guy with the eyes. So Circuit Playground is a small programmable microcontroller that will program with lights and sounds using the sensors, the LEDs, and buttons. And then Tinkercad is working with 3D design and 3D printing.
El segundo trimestre tenemos juegos circuitos. Eso es un pequeño microcontrolador programable que vamos a programar con luces y sonido usando sensores, LEDs y botones. Tinkercad, vamos a trabajar con diseño, impresión 3D.
All right, and then the third trimester is biological engineering. We will explore the field of synthetic and molecular biology as a biological engineer. We'll construct and evaluate models to explore DNA synthesis, standardization, abstraction, and more.
Y el último trimestre tenemos herramientas biológicas. Vamos a explorar el campo de la biología sintética y molecular como ingeniero biológico. Vamos a construir y evaluar modelos para explorar la síntesis de ADN, la estandarización y la abstracción y más.
And we did 8th grade, so we'll go on to Maris. Ms. Clausen.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Clausen, and I'm the computer literacy teacher. And okay, we're starting with 7th grade. And first trimester, we will be doing coding. And we're using a program called Scratch. And in Scratch, it is a block coding program where we'll be making projects and games using Scratch programming.
La primera opción para séptimo grado es codificación. Scratch es un programa introductorio de codificación de bloques. Estaremos haciendo proyectos y juegos usando el programa.
Second trimester, we'll be doing digital storytelling, where scholars will be writing stories digitally using a variety of programs and animations.
El segundo trimestre tenemos narración digital. Los estudiantes van a escribir historias digitalmente utilizando una variedad de programas con animaciones.
And third trimester, we'll be doing movie making. Scholars will be creating their own videos and editing them during this rotation.
En el último trimestre tenemos producción de películas. Los estudiantes van a crear sus propios videos y los editarán durante esta rotación.
On to 8th grade. And 8th graders will start off the year, the first trimester, with entrepreneurship and web design. So they're going to be exploring the creation of their own business, doing marketing and building websites for their businesses.
Para octavo grado, el primer trimestre tenemos espíritu emprendedor y diseño web. Los estudiantes van a explorar la creación de su propio negocio, van a hacer marketing y crear sitios web para sus negocios.
Second trimester, we're going to have them building their own apps.
Para el segundo trimestre tenemos diseño de aplicaciones. Los estudiantes van a crear sus propias aplicaciones.
And the last trimester, we are doing audio video production, where we'll be exploring, creating, and editing podcasts and videos.
Y para el último trimestre tenemos producción de audio y video. Los estudiantes van a explorar, crear y editar podcasts y videos.
Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Miss Juarez. I'm the art teacher. So for 7th grade, the first trimester is going to be focused on color and composition. So it will mostly be two-dimensional work, meaning mostly painting, mostly drawing.
Para el primer trimestre tenemos color y composición. Trabajamos más con pinturas y con colores.
For the second semester, it's going to be a little bit of both two-dimensional and three-dimensional. Yeah, I think that's all I need to say about that. So like some sculpture and some painting, maybe some textiles.
Y para el segundo trimestre tenemos exploración de los medios de comunicación. Trabajamos con los trabajos de 2 dimensiones y 3 dimensiones y usamos pinturas, esculturas y más.
And then the third trimester will be with the main focus on sculpture. So three-dimensional work like clay and cardboard and building.
En el último trimestre tenemos escultura de 3 dimensiones y trabajamos más con productos como clay y otras cosas.
So for the 8th grade, the first choice or the first trimester will be studio choice. So there's a list of maybe 10 different 10 different projects that the students can choose from. And so they'll come into class and they'll choose a few of the things that are listed, and those will be their focus for the trimester.
Para octavo grado, en el primer trimestre tenemos la lección del estudio. Tenemos 10 proyectos que los estudiantes pueden elegir y trabajar para todo el trimestre.
For the second trimester, the students will come in and they'll decide. They might get 2 different mediums that they like to focus on, and then they'll put the majority of their focus on that. They'll really dive deep. So like if they like painting, then they'll do watercolor painting, tempera painting, acrylic painting, a deep dive into 1 or 2 mediums for their trimester.
Para el segundo trimestre tenemos concentración independiente. Los estudiantes van a decidir entre 2 opciones y investigar más en esta cosa.
And then the third trimester is going to be digital art. We have Apple tablets and Apple pens that the students can use, and there's lots of different apps on the tablets, and they'll be creating all kinds of interesting, unique art on the tablet.
En el último trimestre tenemos arte digital. Usamos cosas digitales en un iPad y los estudiantes van a crear arte en estas aplicaciones.
Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Swanson. I am the music teacher at MacArthur. And we're going to take you through some 7th grade options. For trimester 1, they can choose guitar. For guitar class, we're going to be learning basic guitar chords and playing through different pop songs and different folk songs. And that's kind of the class there.
So, para la clase de música de 7º grado tenemos una clase de guitarra. Los estudiantes van a aprender acordes básicos en la guitarra y van a tocar canciones de pop.
For trimester 2, it's world music ensembles. And what we're doing in this class is we are experiencing the music of different cultures around the world by playing different instruments and playing different instruments from different countries.
En trimestre 2 tenemos conjuntos de música del mundo. Vamos a experimentar con música de diferentes culturas y vamos a tocar instrumentos musicales de todo el mundo.
And then trimester 3, we've got Music Chronicle. This is a music history class. Students will be able to experience music throughout the years. We'll do different projects that throw back to different decades of music and different generations.
En el último trimestre tenemos la historia de música. Los estudiantes van a investigar la música a lo largo de los años y explorar las diferentes décadas de música.
So for 8th grade, trimester 1 is going to be Music Studio. Through Music Studio, we will be using a variety of different websites like digital audio workstations to make, compose their own music online.
So para el octavo grado, en el primer trimestre tenemos estudio de música. Vamos a usar sitios web para crear música digital y convertirse en su propio productor musical.
Trimester 2 is 8th grade guitar. Normally this would be a level 2 class, but because of the pandemic, this is going to be just like the 7th grade guitar class. So students will be able to learn basic pop chords on the guitar and play through different folk songs and pop songs on the guitar.
Para trimestre 2, como el séptimo grado, en octavo grado tenemos guitarra. Vamos a aprender acordes básicos en la guitarra y vamos a tocar canciones de pop también.
And then finally, for trimester 3, we have music business. Music business students are going to be able to follow a career, choose and then follow a career in music. So whether that be a famous singer or a songwriter or a music producer, students are going to get to create a profile and basically go through what it takes to work in the music business.
En el último trimestre tenemos negocios musicales. Van a diseñar y seguir una carrera en la música. Ellos van a investigar y convertirse en un cantante, rapero, compositor o productor famoso. And then I'm Miss Hernandez. This is for Spanish. So we have for 7th grade, one trimester, any 7th grade student can take Spanish, but they can only take it one time for the whole year. Okay, so just one trimester, they can't repeat it. So para el séptimo grado tenemos español, pero los estudiantes solo pueden tomar la clase una vez por un trimestre. No pueden repetir cada trimestre. And then for 8th grade, we have 2 options. Both are for high school credit. They basically is a natives path. So if students speak Spanish at home and are fluent in Spanish or fluent enough in Spanish, they will take the natives course, where we'll investigate a little bit more literature, go more in depth in grammar and writing. And then there's a world language course, and this is for students who do not know Spanish yet and want to learn. They can take the whole year learning the basics of Spanish, and we'll do a book study as well. But if they take Spanish, it's for the whole year and they won't take any other exploratory class. But as long as they pass the class, they will get high school credit. So para el octavo grado tenemos 2 opciones para español. Para el crédito de la escuela secundaria, la primera opción es para los hispanohablantes, es decir, que las personas que ya saben español, ellos pueden tomar esta clase donde vamos a investigar más la gramática, literatura y escritura. Y la otra opción es para los estudiantes que no saben español, y vamos a investigar más gramática básica, y vamos a leer un libro. Pero si su estudiante toma la clase de español, ellos no pueden hacer ninguna otra clase de explicatorias. Y ya. Esto.
All right, so for physical education, I missed physical education. Sorry. Sorry about that. I had to double check I was on. For physical education, I'm Mr. Damasi. I'm one of the 3 PE teachers. Ms. Moscoso and Mr. Maggio are the other 2. The one kind of big difference with PE versus the rest of the exploratories is during the school year, each student will need to take one trimester of health, and then the other 2 trimesters are PE.
So, para las clases de educación física, es importante que los estudiantes necesitan tomar un trimestre de salud, y las otras 2 trimestres pueden ser una clase de educación física, pero todos necesitan un trimestre de salud.
In our PE classes, our students, while they may be focused on one specific type of physical education, they are doing fitness 2 days a week. and we do a research-based project in that that focuses on whatever their overall topic is for the trimester.
Y en cada clase, los estudiantes van a tener un proyecto y 2 días de aptitud físico. So en todas las clases tenemos un proyecto y 2 días de aptitud físico.
So the classes we offer are offered for both 7th and 8th graders. The first class is a fitness class where they do work out 4 to 5 days per week using our fitness room, using our gym, using various equipment that we have.
So estas clases de la educación física son para el 7º y 8º grado. La primera clase es ejercicio físico, donde los estudiantes van a hacer ejercicios cada día y usar diferentes equipos.
Our next class is volleyball. So they'll use skills and play volleyball games and volleyball-like games. So some examples are blind volleyball, nitro ball, sitting volleyball, four square, those types of things.
Para una otra clase es voleibol. Los estudiantes van a usar habilidades y van a jugar voleibol y otros juegos como voleibol, como nitro ball o voleibol sentado.
Our most popular class typically is our team sports class. In this class, the students will pick 3 to 4 different team sports that they want to play as a group. Kind of the basic examples are your soccer, your basketball, football.
La clase más popular es deportes de equipo. Los estudiantes van a explorar 3 o 4 deportes de equipo como fútbol, baloncesto, fútbol americano y kickball.
Our individual sports class, this is games and skills that they would play typically by themselves against another person. Examples of this are some yard games, ping pong, bowling, those types of games.
También tenemos deportes individuales. Los estudiantes van a jugar con otros estudiantes 3 o 4 deportes o actividades individuales como ping pong.
Our final game is our racket games unit. So these are games that obviously you're using a racket to play. So typically this would be badminton, pickleball, and ping pong.
Y también tenemos juegos de raqueta. Los estudiantes van a tener raquetas y ellos van a jugar diferentes deportes como badminton, pickleball y ping pong. All right, and then tomorrow we will be sending out a Google form to all of the parents, kind of going over all these options, and you should talk with your student and decide what their choices are. All right, and we ask that this is completed no later than Friday, May 6th. Did I forget anything for that? Okay.
No.
So mañana vamos a enviar a ustedes un Google Form donde pueden encontrar todas las clases y pueden hablar con su estudiante y decidir cuáles clases quieren sus estudiantes. Y es para viernes el 6 de mayo.
So there was a question in the chat earlier about, will we get this presentation? The answer is yes. So what will happen tomorrow is it will not be in the Friday focus. It'll be a separate email to 7th grade families with the 7th grade form for signing up for next year 7th grade. So current 6th graders will get 7th grade form for next year. And then the current 7th graders will get the 8th grade form for next year. And we're going to take a few minutes here to walk you through what that form looks like and how you then will sign up for those classes. So give me a second. Let me switch over and let me pull up that document so we can go ahead and walk you through what it'll look like when you get that form tomorrow. And if there's any questions in the chat that need to be answered now, guys, let me know. We can stop and answer those questions.
Angel, do you want to go over the Spanish for 8th grade, like getting into that? Because there was a question about that in the chat.
Yeah. Let me go back real quick. So to translate. So ustedes van a recibir un correo electrónico con esta presentación y el Google Form. Y ahora vamos a repasar el Google Form con ustedes. Y, so for 8th grade, the process is, so all students took a Spanish interest survey to see kind of if they were even interested in taking Spanish. From that point, we narrow it down to then another Google form where they're asked if they speak Spanish at home or not. And that is how we kind of divide it if they're in the natives class or the world language class. For the world language class, I go based off of teacher recommendations primarily, because I can only take about 15 to 20 students. And then the native students will take a placement test, speaking placement test, to just make sure that they do speak Spanish and kind of see where they're at in their level. And then I will decide based off that test what they narrow down my list based on their scores for that. So, para la clase de español, tenemos un Google Form para saber quién de los estudiantes quieren tomar español para 8º grado, y después pregunto a los estudiantes si hablan español en la casa o no. Los estudiantes quien no hablan el español en la casa, usamos las recomendaciones de los maestros de 7º grado. Y para los estudiantes que hablan español en la casa, tenemos una prueba para saber dónde está su español, escritura, literatura y de audio. Y voy a decidir según estas cosas quién está en la clase para el próximo año.
So I also want to elaborate on the question in the chat as well. So a parent asked, if they take Spanish in 8th grade, are they allowed to take any other electives? And I want to explain why they're not able to. So because it is a high school course, the high school offers Spanish for an entire full school year. So they will take, do they still take a midterm, Mr. Hernandez? They take a midterm and a final?
Yes.
So they're taking the high school freshman, basically coursework with that midterm and that final, and that's how they then get that credit going into high school. So unfortunately, because that option's the way the high school has it set up as a full year program, they can't take a second elective.
So los estudiantes no pueden tomar otras clases si ellos deciden a tomar español, y es porque los estudiantes van a tomar una clase de la escuela secundaria, es decir, que ellos van a trabajar con todo el trabajo de la escuela secundaria. Ellos van a tomar unas pruebas en diciembre y en mayo para la clase.
Okay, so you ready, Ms. Corsell, to go through the Google form? Are ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, here.
Okay, so this is the Google form that you will receive tomorrow morning. So first thing is, this would be for the incoming 7th graders. So this is when the 6th graders are in, they're going to put their email in, their first name and last name, and then your parents' email address. And then include your parents' first and last name. Can be mom or dad, either one. So the next question is physical education or health. What's more important to you? Do you want your first choice of your PE class or your first choice of health class? And then the next one, it wants you to tell which trimester do you want as your first choice for health. So do you want it trimester 1 as your first choice, trimester 2, or trimester 3 as your first choice. So that way we get your first choice of when you want to take health. Now then you're going to rank your PE classes and health. So for your first choice, do you want team sports or fitness? Second choice, which one do you want? And then third choice. This way we can try to get you into your first choice every time. That's for the first trimester. There's a similar one for second trimester, health, volleyball, or team sports you're going to rank. And then the third trimester, you're going to rank the same thing, individual sports, bracket games, or health. Then we'll move on to the exploratory.
Wait, can we pause for a second? Mr. Nez, want to do the PE real quick?
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Okay. So quick question. Are they going to have it in Spanish too already for them? Yeah. Okay. So vas a recibir este Google Form y va a estar en español para ustedes. So vas a poner su correo electrónico, el nombre del estudiante, el correo electrónico de los padres, el nombre del padre, y en esta vas a decidir cuál es más importante para ti, las clases de educación física o la clase de salud. Y en cada caja vas a decidir cuáles, vas a clasificar las clases que quieren, ¿ok? ¿Cuál es la primera opción para su estudiante, la segunda opción? So para cada clase de educación física necesitas clasificar cada clase según su estudiante.
Sorry, forgot I was muted. All right, so next we'll move on to the exploratory choices for first trimester. So they're going to rank for their first choice. Do they want art? Do you want music? Do you want STEM, technology, or coding? Then give your second choice, your third, your fourth, and your fifth. You cannot pick the same one for all. You want to rank each one by first to fifth choice. All right, so make sure each one is selected as one of your choices.
I'm going to say that right now. So para las clases exploratorias, necesitas decidir cuál es su primera elección o opción para la clase, pero no puedes poner la misma clase cada opción. Okay? Necesitas ordenar cada clase para cada trimestre.
If we
Okay,
can
then
add
you'll
real quick, if we can add real quick, if you notice when I click on two of the same choices, a red line comes that says, nope, you can't do that. You can only have one for each column. So if you don't have one checkbox in each column for each row, it won't let you submit it because it's going to come up as saying, nope, you can't do that. As soon as I unclick it, now I can submit this because I've got one for every choice.
Okay, so you'll do the same thing for the second trimester, rank your choices, and the third trimester. You're going to rank your choices and then hit submit.
So vas a hacer el mismo o la misma cosa para cada trimestre y cuando terminas vas a enviar el Google Form.
All right, and this is the form for 8th graders. So again, you're going to put in your email address, student's first and last name, parents' address. The really only difference is when you get down to exploratory, you will see that there's only 4 choices. Since Spanish, you're given, you're chosen to be put in that class, but we still want you to rank your choices in case you do not get into Spanish, even though you asked to be in Spanish, if that makes sense, I hope.
Es el mismo proceso para el octavo grado. La única diferencia es que solo tenemos 4 clases, no español. Es porque yo voy a decidir a los estudiantes, pero todos necesitan hacer este Google Form en caso que su estudiante no está en español.
So one thing to mention with the form, as we said, it's going to go out on Friday morning. We would like it to be completed and returned no later than next Friday, May 6th. I know there was a question about, do parents fill it out or the child? The child should fill it out, ideally with the parent helping them, or, helping them decide with choices of what they think might be best for their child to take or their scholar to take. If your child does not fill it out by May 6th, we will work with them in either exploratory and PE class to get it filled in, because we want to get all the forms done so we can get all the students enrolled before school lets out June 3rd.
So, los estudiantes necesitan completar el Google Form, pero queremos que ustedes ayudan a su estudiante antes del 6 de mayo. Si su estudiante no termina el Google Form antes del 6 de mayo, vamos a trabajar con su estudiante en clase para seleccionar unas clases, y esto es para que nosotros podemos trabajar en las listas de las clases para el año que viene.
And then one last thing to add, this webinar is being recorded, so you will get a copy of this with those Google Forms sent out to you tomorrow. If you have two children, you're going to get two separate emails. If you have two children in two different grades, 7th grade and 8th grade, you're going to get two separate emails, one for the 7th grader with the 7th grade form and one for the 8th grader with the 8th grade form. If you have twins, please fill this out twice for both of your children, because there are a couple sets of twins at MacArthur this year. Actually, I think 5 sets of twins. So if you are a twin and you have 2 children, you're going to fill this out for each child.
Si tienes 2 estudiantes de diferentes grados, vas a recibir 2 correos electrónicos. Si tienes gemelos, necesitas completar el Google Form 2 veces para cada estudiante. Pero mañana otra vez vas a recibir un correo electrónico con toda la información, y este video está grabado, pues vas a recibir otra vez este video también.
Any questions before we kind of wrap up to this evening's meeting? Thank you for all coming. I saw there was a lot of questions that got answered already in the Q&A. If there are no other questions, enjoy your evening. Thank you guys so much for being here and supporting the students as they select some exciting classes for this upcoming school year. We look forward to getting back to pre-pandemic learning when it comes to the exploratory team.
Gracias. Si no tienes preguntas, gracias a todos nuevamente por venir. Si tiene alguna pregunta, no dude en comunicarse con cualquiera de los maestros aquí. Y espero que regresamos a algo normal después de COVID.
Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you guys. You did a great job. Thank you.